Some Nissan Leafs of model year 2013 and up have a problem with the PTC heater. Basically, the heater seems to fry and no longer works. However, most of the 2013 and up Leafs have a heat pump that actually still allows to have heat in the cabin, just not as fast as before. Basically, you would have to wait more than 5 minutes to actually get decent heat in the cabin. So basically, you can live without this heater, but if you want to have heat quicker, especially during the winter, if you have less than 0 degrees Celsius, or in other words below freezing temperatures, it's recommended to have also some kind of heating element that have a resistive heater. And the new heater actually costs around $800, and then also there's a quite high replacement cost. So it's around $1,000 or euros, the same in Europe. So it's quite expensive. And what I did here is to try to make a replacement heater as cheaply as possible. So I bought 2 ceramic heaters from Amazon for 13 euros and a relay for 3 euros, wires for 5 euros, and that's pretty much it. Here I will go through the steps that were needed to get this replaced. So we are going to use this 12-volt relay to connect the heating elements. I have a couple of fuses, 20 amps here. I will mount them separately for each of the units. So I'll have this one thick wire, 10 gauge, to connect to the main positive terminal here, incoming here, and then outcoming ones will go through this 6 gauge wire here. I had to make the holes bigger here. I had to drill them out because the wire is very thick, you see. So yeah. So I've just switched on the relay by connecting this wire that goes to the here. And now this thing is heating. Let's check the temperature. So, oh no, I need to see the home device. So, well, it's warm. 56, good. 59, very good. Yeah, it's hot enough that I cannot hold my fingers. Let's check. 69. Wonder what is the maximum. It's 200 watts, so they advertise it so that it does not get red hot. So I'm wondering if I can place it in the same channel where the old heater used to be, so it doesn't burn anything. I think that one was supposed to hold a lot of temperature, so let's check again. '86, okay. Yeah. So far so good. The relay is totally cold. Wires, good. These wires, yeah, they're a bit warm. They're a bit warm. Yeah. Don't really like that. Okay, let's check again. It's too high to measure. Okay, so it's above 100 degrees. Okay. Well, seems to hold. These wires, let's check the wires. $62, okay, and this one here, 44. And this one, it's almost cold. I think it's just heat transferred from these wires just by metal, not the actual wire getting hot. And this, of course, is totally cold. Connection is here. Here is cold as well. So good, very good. Good so far. So far, everything seems to be working well. To do one more thing, I think we need to just use a blow dryer to just check if, because I know that if you cool it down, it should draw more amps. So let's check. By the way, I'm just using the call button here, so this one doesn't hit anything. So very good. So we are trying to change the heater to the aftermarket one, and so how I did this is, instead of removing this whole panel, I just used this wire to bend this, not to the breaking point, but just enough so I can take that one out. So I'm gonna disconnect this high voltage wire now, and then I will just tape it over so it's safe, and then we're gonna take this one off. And yeah, I had to cut this piece, cut two sides, so you see this one is still connected, so I can straighten this up and just use some metal and bolts to put it back into place. Yeah. So we have been too lazy and just cut off the wires. Of course, we have been very careful. We have special high voltage pliers here. Yeah, they're 4000 volts, so it's okay. And yeah, so I just made very good isolation, double isolation or triple. I'll put them inside that tube, so they're safe there in case we need them to use them in the future. And this one, we will not need the high voltage here because the aftermarket heater will be 12 volt. So let's try to take this out now. So we have just took it out. It was very easy with all this thing holding this plastic piece. And what I'm gonna do now, and I'm gonna reuse the box, but I'm gonna remove those non-working heating elements. Yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with this box, but basically I'll just put those two here. And here it looks like that inside. I think that's the evaporator that is used to the heating from air conditioner, basically heat pump. We'll just try to pry open the box. Wire and void. Here you go. We have the case open now. I wonder if this is why it stopped working. It's definitely not, or maybe it's me. Yeah, it's me. Here are the new 12-volt elements, heating elements, ceramic heating, the same thing, just 12 volt, and they have 200 watts. I think you can fit them, they will fit that here perfectly, so you can fit 1, 2, 3, you can fit 3 definitely. Yeah, will not fit more. 1, 2, 3, yeah. So it will be 600 watts in total, but I think it's enough. It's enough, unless you have very cold winter. I mean, that 6 kilowatt heater was too much, I think, for this car. Okay, so we have put them in, insulated, put some screws here, check that they don't poke out too much. Yeah, it should be good. Yeah, and yeah, we need to remove some of this from here so it doesn't get inside, but otherwise should be okay. We can put this cover on now. So actually this part had to be upgraded. The insulation I used before it's a lot of dust from it, and I think it's not good for breathing. For those who are wondering what is inside this box, so it's this, see, gel. I guess it's to prevent from fire starting, so makes sense. Yeah, but I'm gonna just pass the wires through here. No, I will not touch this box, just in case it's needed in the future. So we have spliced like this to the positive 12 volt wire, and we have now relay here, so it's left just to connect the positives, and we'll find some place to connect the negative wires. And then we're left with the relay connector. So as soon as put this to negative and this one to positive, the heater should turn on. Okay, so we have connected the negative terminals. There was just this empty hole here, so I just found a bolt and screwed it in, so should be good. So here is the final setup. We have connected the positive main to the fuse here, then connected the additional fuses, and then we connected the heating elements wires going to them, and then we have negative here connected nicely. Yes, and we should be able to close everything now.